Here we are in beautiful Sydney, Australia at Barangaroo District, our newest financial center, where we will take you upstairs to introduce you to our first ever Viz Verdi customer, ausbiz, a local biz tech that is creating streaming financial channel.
Our philosophy is to produce content that connects investors with opportunities.
Ausbiz is at its heart a news service, so we're completely editorially driven. We want to connect investors with opportunities, and that is by giving them the best information possible from a whole wide range of guests.
My brief was we needed to build something that could be operated by a journalist, and a single journalist at that. So we have a team of 14 people. We have 4 presenters and about 6 producers and a couple of other people.
The different solutions that were put in here was Viz Verdi, and under Viz Verdi is an automation layer. That automation layer controls a number of different third-party devices, such as bird dog cameras or the audio mixer, the actual switching layer. And then outside of that, there's a lot of other peripheral equipment, but the main thing is it's all based around NDI. So it's not a traditional newsroom.
At the core of it is that our journalists are content creators. So they're not just booking the guests and doing the research and writing the copy, but they're building the bulletins, they're building all of the Viz elements.
We needed something that was very simple to operate. We didn't want to build a huge on-premise stuff. We wanted something that was sort of simple and clean.
The Vizrt rack units are about 15 to 20 rack units. And the rest of the equipment in that rack is all the peripheral equipment that is required to be able to run the rest of the channel.
It can be a bit overwhelming at the best of times, for a journalist to come into a TV broadcast newsroom, and then what we're doing is obviously different on top of that. So yeah, that foundation of Viz University, which they could do at home on their own time. Everybody got to work things out as a team together, knowing that we had a deadline, knowing we had a date to launch, but there was a lot of work and a lot of time spent to get them to the point of launch.
We knew if we were going to build a finance channel that was going to be taken seriously by the market, that the graphics had to be incredibly professional and right. We needed real-time data, and we needed to be able to present that in a multitude of different ways. So that's why we went with Viz. We've had a lot of experience with them, and we just knew that that was going to be the most critical thing to the on-air product.
We've found that Verdi and Pilot Edge were the right solutions to be able to have a journalist be able to produce content and deliver it and drive an automation system, which is driving all of the bits of equipment that are underneath that.
It's all about getting to know your audience and knowing how to tailor what you're doing to a particular audience and knowing what is resonating, perhaps what is not.
We do about 50 interviews a day. About 30% of those currently are coming into the studio.
One person's driving the show. One person is taking which camera, bringing up the graphical elements, although they shouldn't have to do a lot when it comes to that. They are lining up the guests, putting them in the system. They're changing the cameras if they have to do some minor adjustments. They are communicating with the presenters, and they are adding breaking news on the fly. There's support in the background in the newsroom, but it's a one-man show.
There were investors, all sorts of people in the financial services sector who wanted a live business and finance channel, that it was just very difficult to provide that on a legacy platform. So there needed to be a step change in the way it was provided and just the economics of building that kind of a channel.